Hey guys, you're here with Team Overdrive, Matt behind the camera, and we're with Chris to profile his Neo Nectar deck. So we're going to go straight into Grade Zeros.
Alright, so your starter is Ida. It's actually amazing. You rest it and you switch 2 units names, which becomes so versatile with basically every stride you do. Its other skill is Calabash 1, put in soul, choose any card, including trigger units, put it to the bottom of the deck, and if that card has Bloom, you draw a card. Because most of the cards in the deck are Bloom, it's just an extra +1, and what you usually do is you rest it, switch 2 names, and put it into soul, so you can then call another Bloom card where it was. So it's really versatile and it's actually just an amazing card. Next we play 4 of these heal triggers, the Fire Collection one, plus they are holo. I mean, let's be honest, holo cards are much better than commons or promos. Next we're playing 4 crit, the Ahsha crit. This is because the deck does need soul, so you'll call 1, copy it, attack as a column for like 11 or 10, and then put them both in the soul, giving your Vanguard 10k and drawing 2 cards. So it's soul, it's drawing cards, it's power, it's basically everything you want. I used to play 12 stand, but unfortunately you do need the draw, you do need the defense. Next we're playing 4 Maiden of Daybreak. It can be comboed with stuff like Rain Breath in your opponent's turn to give your Vanguard plus 5k, so you can say, I hate you Melon. And also it's just it's pretty good cards. It's just there because it's a stand, but it's good, it's got an effect. So, and stands are crucial to Neo Nectar now. Lizbeth, which is by far one of the best stands we've got in a while. Very good, and there is a loop. It's not infinite because it requires Counterblast, but it's still very long and it does take a while. So it's called Going to Time, and that is your win condition. So yeah, just 8 stand, 4 crit, 4 heal. Pretty standard.
So do you contemplate you going for more crits, or are you just kind of steadfast on stands?
You basically have to play 8 stands because Neo Nectar, as most people will know, maybe from the anime or whatever, their power columns are actually huge on their later turns, and getting even 1 stand will really pressure your opponent. You don't care about doing multiple damage on 1 attack. Because your cards have such great power, it's going to be really hard for your opponents to guard each and every one of those, so you don't actually care about crits. Okay.
Cool, let's go to the grade 1s.
So the first grade 1 we're going to cover is our tech choice. So you can play anything. You can play the grade 1 Elemental for Grand Blue matchups, which I've considered. But I'm personally playing Sweetberry. It's basically substitutes for any other card you've got on the fields. But it's this 2 of grade 1 is really your flex choice, so you can choose whatever you want. Maybe like Odette or whatever.
Okay.
It's just flex choice. Then Striding is brilliant. So we're playing 4 Padmini. Stride Fodder searches for Ahsha. We are playing both Ahshas, so if you've got the wrong one, you can search for another one.
Okay.
Next we're playing 4 PGs, not free, because obviously the deck does need the defense. It's actually really good. When you use it to guard, if you're guarding a Ranunculus Vanguard, which you will be most of the time, you check top 5 cards for a unit you've also got on rear guard, and you add to hand. So it also counts Vanguard as well. So potentially if you guard with it, drop a grade 3, it's potentially free. You can get that grade 3 back and then stride with it.
Cool.
So it's a really good G-guard. I mean, our last 4 grade 1s are Katrina. This one's a bit of an iffy one. You can either play Katrina or another card or put up on the screen, Odette. Odette is consistent and more flexible with the power it gives, but it does give less power. And Katrina is not flexible. You can't really use it multiple times because you can't bounce it back to hand like Odette. But the power it gives is actually immense.
Cool. So grade 2s.
Grade 2s we're playing imperative cards now. Thuria. As it's placed on rear guards, it locks. No, as it's placed on rear guard, you take the name of another unit, so it does count Vanguard as well, and it will be called as that unit. So activates Bloom. There's quite a few combos you can go into, and then it has another effect. At the beginning of your main phase, if you have a Ranunculus Vanguard, at the beginning of your turn, main phase even, sorry, if you have a Ranunculus Vanguard, send a unit with the same card name as this card from your drop zones back to the deck. shuffle, and then it bounces back to hand. Thing that I learned, it doesn't actually, the name doesn't actually go at the end of the turn. So if it stays on the field until next turn, you can, let's say you have a Katrina, call it copy. Next turn, if this maybe gets retired, you just go, yeah, back to deck, back to hand, and you just do it all over again. So it's actually crazy. And then Rain Breath, and there's actually quite a few plays you can do with it. So it's not losing its name is actually really important, which I didn't know. Thanks, Joseph Ray. Next grade 2 we're playing is Anelma. Recently added. Works well with the GB8 because it gives itself boost, which is quite an important thing. I've realised that simultaneous calls, so say we call 2 Anelmas at the same time, they activate each other's blooms. So that's quite an important play to know about Neo Nectar.
Okay, any last grade 2?
We have one last grade 2, which is a 4th. This is another tech choice. Some people know. Currently, I've been testing this card called Nicola. Its effect is Rearguard and Guardian Circle. When another unit with the same card name, also important, as this unit, is placed on either your Rearguard or your Guardian Circle, it gains 5k, it's actually 4k, yeah, 4k, sorry, my bad, 4k power, but also 5k guard. This is important because if you have one on field and you guard with one, this effect will activate. So this becomes a 10k guard for a grade 2, and then it stacks. So you can go 10k, 10k, and this is now a 15k guard. So on an Inverno turn, you can call 1, just add 2 to hand, just be ready for next turn. And it's really, this last grade 2 spot is really flex. You can play Noah, you can play this, you can play other cards. Card I want to point out, Poker. It's because Link Joker is always around, Poker is a good choice in Neo Nectar, purely because you can copy your cards. So you can go, most of your strides unflip any card in the G zone. So you go stride, effect, unflip a Crail Elemental if you haven't already strode one. Call, so that's one unlock. You do gain a fair soul. Unlock, and then use your skills to copy, unlock, and then you've got pokers. Yes, they may be dead, but the fact that your strides also give power to copies just means they're not actually as dead as you may think.
Okay. So Nicola's quite a techie choice. Do you think having it in an era where we've got G guards and obviously perfect guards as well, do you think the additional guard potentially overwrites not having a decent rear guard setup on occasions?
The reason I chose it is because it can also gain power, and because it states same card name, if you use Ida on it, anything you call with the second target of Ida will also activate its bloom. Ida's only until end of turn, however, but the fact that you can stack its guard value, so you can go like have one rear guard, and if you call all 3, this activates, this activates. It's actually just ridiculous.
So it's quite nice, I suppose, when you're locked out of using, cards from hand. I suppose the intercept can potentially be
the intercept.
decent.
Like I haven't had too much testing with it, but I think in theory it's going to be really good.
Okay.
As I said, it's a tag choice in a Link Joker format. You
Quite
play
nice.
poker.
Okay. We'll have a quick whistle stop tour through your grade 3s.
Right, so I'd like to shout out to Matthew Craig, who basically owns all these all these expensive grade 3s. Searing Ahsha, definitely one of the better cards we've gotten in a while for Neo Nectar. At the end of every turn, you can call a card from hand. That's really important in control matchups. Let's say you're playing against Kagero, you don't call a field because you don't want to get retired. At the end of the turn, you call a card and pop off. And with Kagero, depends how the turn goes. You could just kill it in turn. Link Joker, same thing, except for Chaos Breaker. Hate that card. It's actually just a degenerate, just brain dead. But we're not going into that. We're not talking about Chaos Breaker. It's not a discussion. On stride skill, Chaos 1, Soul Blast 1. Copy a unit, give it boost. Again, as I said, boost is really important to get on your rear guards. So anything that can give you boost is really good.
Okay.
Last grade 3, and probably a lot of money sunk into it, is the other Ahsha. I'm testing out different grade 3 builds. Double Ahsha because most cards require an extra Vanguard, so it's just good. And the other grade 3 I play is Majuka. If you're playing Majuka, you have to play Lorny. That's another great 2 spot guard. It's just this. It's an engine which is good if it hits, but it's pretty underwhelming if it doesn't. So I'm testing different builds at the moment.
Okay.
Secret Rare, because I'm a weeb and I like my Neo Nectar, even though they're trash. On strike skill, Canvas 1, copy a unit, give it plus 2k instead of boost. It's not terrible if you have to ride it, because you play Anelma, boost isn't too important, but it will be in certain cases, and that's where you play the strike follow it for.
Okay. Cool, so main deck done, let's have a look at your G-Zone.
Right. So right, one way around. We want to go into the MVP that we thought was actual steaming trash, but as the enemy has shown us, it is not. Selfina. Basic skill, which is actually kind of hard to explain, but Canvas 1, flip a card over, you choose the same number of your rear guards as the face-up G units in your G zone, give them plus 2k, and copy them for each copy of Selfina. Long-winded, hard to explain, I'm not going to go into it. All I can say is that Selfina is a brilliant card. If you call 2 or more units, you gain plus, you gain a crit, so that's why you only play 4 crits, because 2 of your Vanguards actually gain crits, 3 of them 3 of your Strides actually gain crits by themselves. It's really easy to call 2, purely because Ida exists, so you can gain, you got 2 names. Yeah, it's actually just amazing. So our next one is the old Ahsha, Dream Spinning, SPs, because I'm a weeb again. It's just basic strides. If you're against control and you don't want to put too much into your field, it's pretty decent. Like your twos become 14, which you can poke at their rear guards. Your Vanguard King's 31. It's something to go into if you're being controlled out of the game. Okay. Main reason we play it, the one off Glorious Bloom. I've played a match where I'm playing a non sort of Dream Spinning and Glorious Bloom deck. Having the one of is really good because you can just call the field and then give them 10k each because you're playing 2. Sort of another backup, which is more of a draw power. Ilmatar, thank you. It's not often that you'll go into it purely because you should be hoping to finish the game on your earlier strides like Selfina, but it's there maybe if you're being controlled again and you've only got like a certain amount of hand you can use. It's draw power, it's on hit pressure. On hit cards always draw more pressure than non on hit cards, so just adds that bonus pressure to the deck really. Okay. We're playing a 2 of Verano. We used to play this card at 4 when we played Majuka, but because our boost and our cooling at the beginning of the turn isn't as important now, it's down to a 2 of, purely because Selfina is such a good card and it's Act as well. So it's a nice effect. Obviously playing it in with Majuka is important because it then gives the card you're calling boost, but as I said earlier, this build currently doesn't deal too much with that. It does still have the issue, but not as much. So it's a 2 of now, and I've not gone into it a lot since I've added Selfina. The last stride is a really weeby Inverno. Inverno is an amazing card. It says, by the way, we're going into time, because you just spend the turn fixing your hand. If you have a Lizbeth, every time you call Lizbeth, it's a +1. So you can go like, call 1, add 2 grade 3s, call Lizbeth, discard the grade 3, copy Lizbeth, bloom, goes back to hand, draws, fixes your hand, guest stands back in deck, and you just wham for like a big power unit. Okay. So Inverno is really good. I want to play it too, but I can't quite fit it in yet. For G guards, it's quite the G zone is actually quite tight, but we're playing a Verna. I actually know the names of these cards. I only know the skills. Unfortunately, it does say each other unit, which limits it a lot. But if you've got a field full of Katrinas, like 5 Katrinas, yeah, alright, your attack's guarded in most decks. Obviously, stuff like Dipole you win, but you shouldn't be losing to that. You shouldn't be getting to the point where you're having to G-guard with Verna. But it's a good one of. We're then playing Rain Breath. Rain Breath is the core card for a lot of in your opponent's turn combos. Because when you G-guard with it, you can call a card, and if you do, the card you called gains resist, and then it gains plus 5k shield. Obviously, you're going to bloom in your opponent's turn if you call a copy, and then that could boost your Vanguard's power. As I said, with Daybreak. You call Daybreak, put it back, give +5k to your Vanguard.
Nice.
So it's a good card. I'd play more if I could, but I can't at the moment. Really situational. When you G-Guard with it, if you have 4 units of the same card name on your rear guard, or you have 2 Ranunculus units against 10k shield, you often won't go into it because the situation won't come up, but it's a really strong card if it does.
Nice, okay.
And then we have our Cray Elemental target, Dismel. Basically it says you can't hit this rear guard for the rest of the turn. But unfortunately in Control decks, they'll be controlling you in their main phase. It's a flip for poker as well. Could be a Rain Breath, but being able to protect the rear guard is obviously imperative considering that your rear guard is really important in this deck. But Cray Elemental is a decent card.
Definitely. Okay, nice. So, any closing comments?
I wish Neo Nectar was a lot better. Against any rogue matchups, Neo Nectar will blast them out of the water if you don't get Grey Stuck. I've gone Grey Stuck about, if we say we have 10 games, right, in a locals, I'll get Grey Stuck 7 of them, consistently every week. It's actually ridiculous. Don't get me started, but that's what grinds my gears. But Neo Nectar is a strong choice, but everything in the meta is better than it, unfortunately.
Cool.
So, what are you
Okay,
going to do?
thanks very much. This is Team of Drive sign off.